Hey guys, welcome to another recap with GIno. We're going to talk about what happened at the Royal Rumble a couple of days ago. It was, I think, the best Royal Rumble I've seen in a long time. Both women's and men's matches were incredible. Kind of feel sorry for the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY because where match had to fall in between the Rumbles, especially that women's Rumble that kicked it off. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Really awesome return. If you haven't seen the reaction me and my buddy Colin have, go on my previous video, look at around the 50-minute mark, and you'll see the awesome return I'm talking about. And one that kind of fell flat, but we'll talk about that after we do a little more teasing here. Um, there's a lot of people losing their minds saying WWE did the wrong thing, they pulled the wrong trigger. We'll talk about that too. And we'll talk a little bit about Raw, but I just thought this Raw was kind of stale compared to what happened with the Rumble 2 nights ago. Couple cool, interesting moments with the Royal Rumble winners. Also, I just don't understand why there's a women's title that was introduced and rushed, and we haven't seen a single title defense or match since that woman since she won. And Liv Morgan broke characters in the Rumble to save a Roman, but we'll talk about that as well. So, with all the teasing out of the way, let's get right to it. I like how WWE keeps their stories going and keeps fans directed and connected. And it was a great entrance to the very first ever pay-per-view on Netflix. And personally, I'm more of a Royal Rumble guy than a Maniac guy or anything like that. Survivor Series is my second favorite pay-per-view since I've got the chance to see it now. It makes me very happy. But the Rumble itself, the crowd in Indianapolis was fire start to finish. Um, the women's match kicked off with Io and Liv. Great storytelling. Io and Liv are just have amazing chemistry together, and it was brilliant to have these two kick it off because they're excuse me, they're very much workhorses and very much can go as long as possible if they have to. And both lasted well over an hour into that match. But we do have a new Rumble record set for the longest time in the Rumble, that by personal favorite of mine, a girl who's I've been singing the praises of for a very, 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 very long time, Roxanne Perez. 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 48 seconds. Whereas Michael Cole made a joke that kind of turned sexual for certain people, um, which says that Liv lasted 1 minute and 48 seconds, and Pat McAfee and Wade Barrett, of course, had to make sexual jokes about it. So we're going to tell you the list of all the entrants one by one that were in the Rumble. I can't remember them off the top of my head because it was 2 days ago, and I'm so stoked that it was such a good pay per view. I can't remember every single person that entered, but there is 30. So let me just pull that up. I'll tell you everybody that was in the Rumble, and I'll stop when I get to the one I thought was a surprise that made me pop the most. One sec, guys. And we're going to talk about the winner because a lot of people think it was the wrong one, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute when we get to it because I don't think a lot of people understand what wrestling is. And it's just not because your favorites have a chance to win everything. Certain things have to play to let wrestling work the way it does. And the person that won the women's Royal Rumble may not be the favorite, but it makes sense to me. Sorry, guys, it's long day. The Women's Rumble Royal match itself was an hour, 10 minutes, and 21 seconds. And the entrance, Io Sky 1, Liv Morgan 2, Roxanne Perez 3, Laya Valkyria 4. And Laya Valkyria was the woman I was talking about who got saved by fellow competitor Liv Morgan. She went to do suplex, and I looked at my buddy Colin. I'm like, I think her top just snapped, and you can see she's hanging onto her chest to try and not make something fall. And clearly, she was about to expose herself to the crowd, and Liv Morgan saw this and got up from selling and knocked her into the corner to help her. So good on Liv for being able, and you can see the referees run over, both female referees run over and instantly try and help her, save her. So good on Lyra because that would have been embarrassing both for her and the company because they're in the PG era or whatever you want to call it, Netflix era. And for Lyra herself, it would have been rather humiliating because you knew that would have been all over the internet for the rest of her career and life, and people don't deserve that because there's creeps in the world. And good for Liv for being just a good person and breaking character in that moment and helping out a coworker. a friend. Following Lyra, we had the other new champion, Chelsea Green, and Chelsea actually defends her belt. This is the thing I was talking about. Another episode of Raw, another no Lyra Valkyrie Intercontinental title match. She was just in the crowd this week. I don't understand why they rushed to bring the Intercontinental title in if they're not going to do anything with it. Story for a different time. BFAB is next out, and I believe BFAB was the very first person eliminated. Yes, she was. Chelsea Green eliminated her. She lasted 7 minutes. Io Sky lasted 1 hour, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Liv Morgan lasted 15 seconds longer, 1 hour, 7 minutes. And Roxanne Perez sat the record by 47 seconds. Ivy Nile was next. Ivy Nile eliminated Lyra Valkyria. So that's telling that story. Following that was Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark was in at number 8, Lash Legend, who I lost my mind. Not lost my mind, but I was very happy for her because this girl, like I was telling my buddy Colin a couple years ago, could not do a wrist lock from a leg drop or a body slam from a suplex or cut a promo or anything, and she's just so vastly improved. Good on her. I still think her and her partner, Chikara Jackson, were screwed out of the WWE Tag Team Championship, Tag Team Championships, and I don't think they're going to tell that story anymore, and unfortunate for them. I think those titles belong more in NXT than they do the main roster. There's more of a stacked, more developed women's division down there, and more tag teams and more friends. Whereas WWE, the main roster kind of throws girls together, if that makes sense. Sorry guys, very long day. And after Lash Legend was Bianca Belair at number 10, Shayna Baszler at 11, Bailey at 12, Sonya Deville at 13, Maxine Dupree at 14. Maxine Dupree lasted a minute and 2 seconds. I believe that might have been the shortest time in the Rumble of anyone for the women. I mean, even BFAB got more than a minute, which makes no sense. Naomi was 15. Jada Parker, who I like her, but I don't think she needed to be in the Rumble. She was 16. Piper Niven 17, Natalia 18, Jordan Grace 19. And Jordan Grace is the second go around of the Rumble, 22 minutes 41 seconds. 20 Midi Chin 21, and this is where I lost my mind because and I'll quote Michael Cole here and Pat McAfee. The internet lied. The internet lied. She's back, guys. She's fucking back. The goddess is back, and what an incredible tribute to Bray Wyatt. People didn't see it at first. I saw it right away, and I looked at my buddy. I'm like, she's paying tribute to Bray. Because if you look at her jacket, you think it says "Friend Forever," but kind of hidden there, kind of like a lot of her tattoos, you can clearly make out the artist appear and it says "Fiend Forever," and then at the bottom says "Play" and "Pain," where Bray's gloves usually hurt heel, and just the fact that Alexa is back made me over the moon because like this girl is a genuine, absolute superstar. Unlike most girls, she can go in the ring. She's heads and miles and toes above almost every girl on the microphone outside of, like, let's say, Chelsea Green or someone like that. But yeah, she's just so uber talented everywhere. And this is another girl who I followed her entire development from the Black and Gold brand of NXT to when she debuted on SmackDown, then went to Raw, which was when managing Matthews and Buddy Murphy and Matthews. Oh, and Wesley Blake and Matthews. Just everything. This girl is just so talented, and you could tell when she came out and the crowd just erupted. It meant everything to her. She lasted a bit of time. I believe she got about 17 minutes in there. Let me just look it up and confirm. 11 minutes. Liv Morgan eliminated her, so I believe that might be her first feud on the main roster. Zelina Vega was in next. She lasted 18 minutes. Candice LeRae was after that. She lasted 16 minutes. And then one of the surprises of the Rumble, and I'm not mad at it because this girl's so uber talented. She's going to be in the main roster very, very soon. Stephanie Van Kerr was in. She lasted 19 minutes. Sorry, Stephanie Vecker. And following that, a person I have met before, and this is her 25th year in the WWE, and I kind of knew it, but I didn't want to say anything. And she actually even mentioned it after the show itself. She wore the gear this Royal Rumble that she debuted in on SmackDown. That's how much of a wrestling nerd I am. It was kind of a different take on it, but it was the exact same gear she wore 25 years ago to Away. Um, and she's still very, very good. Trish Stratus. I've been a fan of her forever, and as a person, I'm a fan of her. Like I told you, I met her over a decade ago. She's one of the nicest people I've actually legitimately ever met. Following that, we had Ricardo Rodriguez enter, and following that, the Queen is back. And this is where I'm going to go on my rant. Because everyone's screaming and ranting and raving about how she's the golden child, and how she's this and she's that, and WWE bows down to her and does this for her and does that for her. Can you please tell me a star on that list I've named outside of the name Charlotte Flair you can think of when you think of WWE? Because I can't. This girl carries herself like a star. She is a star. She is athletic as fuck. She can actually speak on the microphone. You either love her or you hate her. Either way, she's in a fantastic heel. And okay, face, fantastic heel. The charisma just oozes out of this girl's she's ability to talk on the microphone. I mean, the promo she just cut tonight on Raw was absolutely brilliant. You could tell the points where she was emotional. It actually meant everything in the world for her to be back after what she did to her knee. And it disgusted me that fans cheered the fact she got hurt and said, "See you later, na 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 na, hey hey, goodbye." Was she forced down her throats? Yes, but at the same point, you people have to realize this girl's a goddamn mega star. Like everything about this girl is star. Everything, everything, everything. It's not the wrong call. It's not the wrong call at all. Like I said, I named you 27 people, 26 other girls on that list. Can any of them be considered a star enough to main event to WrestleMania? Or even be on a household name where fans like, oh yeah, her, this, that. It's like, no, no, they can't. I don't care what anyone says. It's just stupidity and hatred for no reason whatsoever. Was she generically made for us to like? No. Is she generically hated? Yes. Guess what? Wrestling has heels and faces. Charlotte Flair is going to be a heel. Ric Flair was a heel. Charlotte is her father. Much not as good in the ring, but man, Charlotte is so fucking good. And if you guys don't see it, I don't understand. That's what annoys me. You people are just you like who you like, and good on you. You have the right to choose, but you actually have to understand that WWE knows what the fuck they're doing. Charlotte Flair is that person. It was predictable from the beginning, and people that didn't think Charlotte Flair was going to win, who else was going to win the Royal Rumble? Like, what other girl in there was going to win? And I love Candice LeRae, but Candice LeRae, give yourself a fucking head shake. Candice LeRae is awesome. She'll never be near a women's title. Liv Morgan, I don't want to see Liv near the belt for a while. Io's gonna get there some way, somehow. It's just gonna happen. Io's that good. But she just lost the belt recently. She doesn't need to be in a title program right now. I don't want Jax anywhere near the title picture. Bailey needs to be out of it. I mean, Raquel Rodriguez, not a fucking chance. Sorry. Mia Yim, I love Mia, but no. Mi Chin, sorry. Chelsea, no. Chelsea's a great mid card champion. I don't think she'll ever be women's champion. Same for Lyra Valkyria. Steph Van Kerr eventually will be women's champion. Vacker, sorry, however you want to pronounce it. Julie will eventually be women's champion. Roxanne Perez will eventually be a women's champion, but they're not ready. That's the thing. You guys don't get it. Charlotte Flair is made for these spots. Like, I don't think you guys understand. And if you do and you still are angry, you can make comments below. But Charlotte Flair is beyond unbelievable. My whole goal and dream since they have this partnership with TNA, I want Charlotte Flair versus Tessa. That match is gonna, if they ever actually pull the trigger and do that match, Jesus Christ, look out. That thing will be steal the goddamn year. But I think the right person won the Royal Rumble because I'm gonna name a few other people that are here. Julia. But once again, like I said, gonna be good, not ready. Nia Jax, goddamn, please do not ever put in your title again. And Nikki Bella was surprised. Everyone was teasing AJ Lee, everyone was teasing Becky Lynch, everyone was teasing this person, everyone was teasing that person. Nikki Bella got zero to no response. Like the crowd didn't give a fuck. No. Like, nobody cared. She only lasted 3 minutes, and good for that, because WWE clearly realized that they were going to get nothing with Nikki, and nobody's given a fuck about the Bella Twins for a long time. Like, me and my buddy, like, you saw a reaction on the video, we just laughed. Why was Nikki Bella there? Like, come on. You guys could have done a lot better than Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella wasn't good when she was champion. She wasn't good before she was champion. And she just looked rusty in the ring, and I mean, like her push-ups. Go watch her push-ups. It looks like she's legitimately fucking the mat. Roxanne Perez, she just walks in and shows her up right away, instantly. And Roxanne Perez's thing is not push-ups. Nikki tried to do that as part of her moves all the time, and they always look bad. They always look ugly, and this just looks worse. She looks like she's missed time for the ring. Nikki Bella's not a person like a Alexa Bliss or a Charlotte or a Trish, sorry, or a Becky. Or possibly an AJ Lee. We don't know what AJ Lee will be like, but they can walk away from the ring and then come back and be as good. She wasn't good to start with, and she wasn't good when she started getting near the end of her career, and then she just isn't good. And the reaction just proves the fans did not care about nor miss Nikki Bella at all, nor did they want her in that Rumble. I think I heard one person cheer, but if you go in a few videos and then she comes out, you see the front row of the crowd just shaking their heads. No. Like, no, this is not who we wanted. This is not what we wanted. And it clearly showed because there was no reaction. All right, guys. Following that, as I say, Charlotte Flair wins the Royal Rumble. She eliminated, I believe it was, yeah, it was Roxanne Perez was the last one in the ring with Charlotte Flair. And it was actually a pretty close battle. Me and my buddy both thought that for a minute they may have went crazy and pulled the trigger on Roxanne Perez, and she will win the Royal Rumble one day. And that's not crazy. That's Roxanne Perez is incredible. I'm gonna go on one more rant. I know that she's not everybody's cup of tea, but hell, I would have rather had Cora Jade in the Royal Rumble than Nikki Bella. At least Cora Jade would have got some reaction, right? Nikki Bella got nothing. And to be honest with you, I didn't feel sorry at all. But yes, the future, the present and the future are the last two people in the Royal Rumble for the women. And I think, don't mark my words on this. Sorry, do mark my words on this. But the next year or two, Roxanne Perez is going to win the Royal Rumble and become the WWE Women's Champion, either SmackDown or Raw. She's that good. She's that good. And this is a girl who people could not say could go heel. And I think she's been a better heel than she ever was babyface. But she's that good. And this is somebody who's been a fan of that girl for a very, 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 very long time. Following that, and this is why I feel sorry, we had DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns in that best 2 out of 3 falls match. It was only 14 minutes, and it fell right after probably the best women's Royal Rumble match I've ever seen. And shout out to TJ Wilson, aka Tyson Kidd. He put that Rumble match together, and it was incredible. And like me and my buddy Colin were discussing on our previous show, this is no disrespect to the 4 guys in that tag team match. All 4 of them incredible wrestlers. Just don't understand or care about their characters. We don't know what their characters are. Very, very good ring technicians. The match kind of was just there. I mean, the first fall was a random weird no tag, and then a knee to the face, and then that made it 1-0 for DIY. Marty Machine Guns tie it up, and then 0 to no reaction for the finish of this match. As the Street Profits come out of the crowd, and this is why there's 0 to no reaction, because nobody knew who the fuck they were. They were gone for so long, and they were wearing hoodies to cover themselves up. And then for some reason they attacked Marty City Machine Guns, and then after the match attacked the tag team champions. Finish made no sense whatsoever in this match at all. I think WWE just knew it was not going anywhere, and they had a preset finish and they pulled it off anyways. To still no reaction. I figured they get some reaction for the Profits coming back, but nobody cared. And Indianapolis was a great crowd, but nobody cared about that match. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, WWE's done a shit job of trying to revive their tag team division. And I feel sorry for those four guys because they tried. And you could tell they tried and they were working their asses off, but it just didn't click with the crowd. And we'll leave it at that. Following that, we had the soon to be turning heel, Cody Rhodes. And if you guys don't think he's turning heel, you're fucking nuts. I don't watch The Boys, but my buddy was referring to me as this character known as Homelander. Sorry, my buddy, I keep saying my buddy Colin. Colin was on the show with me. He was referred to me as this guy named Homelander from The Boys, from the TV series The Boys. And he's like, that's what Cody Rhodes is becoming. And he explained to me what the character was. He is 1000% becoming that person. And it's that belt's corrupting him. That's the story they're going to tell. And there's a reason why there's one person that's going to beat him at WrestleMania and take that belt and make Cody revert back to being face Cody, but with a little bit of a heel hinge. So he's going heel. Cody's going to go heel after he loses the belt 1000%. He's going to snap at Mania and attack the person who I'm predicting is going to beat him at Mania for that belt. And this is kind of a hint because I'm not going to tell you guys right now. It's long-term storytelling, kind of like what WWE is doing. But Cody's losing the belt. Great. That's a sidetrack story. Personally, what a match. What a ladder match. What a great story. A couple crazy bumps, all taken by Kevin Owens, except for the one fisherman buster off the ropes. But I legitimately cringed, audibly groaned, and made reactions, as you guys could see in the video. I was ready for Royal Rumble, especially when Kevin Owens did the back body drop, got back body dropped onto a ladder, but didn't land on the ladder properly. If you saw, it was just his lower back hit the corner of the ladder, and he was still selling it today at Raw. If you guys saw that, we'll talk about that in a minute. And the Alabama slam through, excuse me, off the table through a ladder, and the way he landed, just laid there for a little while. And then when he pulled back up, he was bleeding all over the place. And there's a lot of people saying the wrong person won that match, but no, the right person won that match because Cody Rhodes has to go heel, and you can tell that Bell's corrupting him to do more things he doesn't want to do, making him morally wrong. And you can tell that he's kind of knows it is, but he's kind of enjoying it. Especially by the fact that after the match was over, instead of walking to the back, he went back and stood over Kevin as Kevin was bleeding, and Sami Zayn was looking up at him, just shaking his head in disgust. But you could tell, in a way, deep down inside, Cody enjoyed it. But yes, I can't wait for heel Cody, and I can't wait for this person to take the belt off him, because that belt apparently corrupts everyone and everything except for one person. I think a lot of you probably know who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go right out there and say it. John Cena is beating Cody Rhodes for the belt at WrestleMania. John Cena is winning the Hell in a Cell. Or sorry, yeah, the Elimination Chamber to go to Mania in less than 3 weeks. And John Cena is going to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania and take that belt from him. I don't know if you guys saw John Cena's speech afterwards at the press conference. If you haven't, go look it up. It is absolutely brilliant. It makes you love this guy even more than possible. But all right, let's get right into the Rumble, and we're going to talk about the entrances and their times as well. This is the very first time in the history of the Royal Rumble that we had the Mexican said Mexicans, men of Mexican descent. Sorry, um, kicking off the Royal Rumble. Why can't I see who was in it? One second, guys. I'm just gonna pull up who was in that match. One sec, guys. I'm trying to remember everyone's in that match. There's too many people. Andrade was in there. Andrade and Charlotte Flair are divorced now. All right, here we go. Rey Mysterio was in there at number 1. Penta number 2. Chad Gable 3. Carmelo Hayes 4. Santos Escobar 5. Otis 6. Braun Breaker 7. And I'm pretty sure everyone in the world has seen that spear by Braun Breaker now. If you haven't, go look at what he did to ISO Speed. Jesus fucking Christ. Sheamus 9. Because ISO Speed is at 8. He takes a carousel spot after Cesaro was destroyed. Jimmy Uso 10, Andrade 11, Jacob Fatu 12, Ludwig Kaiser 13, The Miz 14, I Believe in Joe Hendry 15, Roman 16, Drew McIntyre 17, Finn Balor 18, Nakamura 19, Jay Uso 20, AJ Styles has returned and he has his old theme song back. He's back at 21, Braun Strowman 22, John Cena's 23, CM Punk 24, Seth freaking Rollins 25, Dominic Mysterio 26, and man, I was laughing. I wish WWE would have trolled us and made Dominic Mysterio win the Royal Rumble. But I was afraid of one thing, and that was who's in at number 30. And I thought for sure he'd hide until everyone was eliminated and win the Rumble, that being Logan Paul. Thank God that did not happen. Sami Zayn 27, 28 was Damian Priest, 29 LA Knight, 30 Logan Paul. Not one surprise in the men's Royal Rumble. Not one holy shit, this person's back. Wow. Not one reaction like that. Kind of predictable. Well played up, plain. Who gives a shit? Royal Rumble. Great match. Unbelievable storytelling. Especially CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This feud's been going on for over a decade now. Here's the thing people don't realize, and unless you're actually really paying attention, the Shield debuted in Indianapolis as CM Punk's bodyguards. 3 years later, the Shield broke up at Indianapolis when Seth Rollins turned on Ambrose and Reigns. Seth Rollins, then 10 years after that, did what he did to Roman Reigns at the Rumble. So it's gone full story, except Dean Ambrose is no longer in it. And AEW is a story for a different conversation. I saw a video this weekend, and I truly don't understand what AEW is doing. I think they've lost whatever vision they had or ability to do anything, because I was watching a video and John Moxley was wrestling Dax Hardwood, and Dax Hardwood plied John Moxley's testicles, which led to Marina. I can't believe I'm saying this. Marina Shafir was pliering Dax Hardwood's testicles. Yeah, remember, we're the best wrestle. The best wrestle. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. But that's the clip I saw, and also, if the best wrestle, and this is no disrespect to the man, why is Chris Jericho still in wrestling? And I love Jericho, and I think it might be a troll job, but I also think age might have finally caught up to Jericho, and Jericho's time to step aside for a little bit. It just might be. But here's rank number 2 of the night. Jay Uso, main event Jay Uso, wins the Royal Rumble. Him and John Cena are the last 2 people. And the crowd was kind of, well, not there live. Everyone was ecstatic. And legitimately, the guy earned it. He's been doing this for 15 years. Incredible tag team run with his brother. Great singles run for the last year by himself. Um, and Mark Henry said this perfectly. Fans are crying and complaining and bitching about this person being forced down our throat, or that person being forced down our throat, or this girl being forced down our throat, or that girl being forced down our throat, and we're not allowed to, as wrestling fans, pick and choose who we like. Jey Uso won, and Jey Uso organically got over, and Jey Uso week after week after week after week either got beat down by somebody, or trash talked by somebody, or got yeet movement. I was there in Vancouver. I experienced the yeet. That thing is real. This crowd genuinely fucking loves Jey Uso. And he is over his shit, and how can't you? I mean, like, his personality, his, like, exuberance for life, his enjoyment, you can tell it all. But yet he's not good enough to win the Royal Rumble. Because what, you guys wanted Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the third fucking time? Or CM Punk? God, forgive me, I do not want to watch CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Not on my bucket list. And we didn't need to see Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the 9 billionth time. Because if you guys remember, that's how Cody Rhodes came back to the feud versus Seth Rollins. And I'm not saying it wasn't good, because it was. But we don't need to see it at this moment in time. Like I said, Jay earned it. You could genuinely know it meant something to him, because on Raw today, as he was cutting his promo, he started crying it to stop, and the crowd loves Jey Uso. If you people don't see that, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how else to say besides I'm sorry. Like, this guy clearly earned the right to be the Royal Rumble winner. He won it. He is there. WWE pulled the trigger. I kind of wonder if they're going to pull the trigger on Mania and make him the champion. And if he does, how long is it going to be? Is there going to be transitional champion for like a month or two and then he loses the belt? I mean, Damian Priest already again he got over on his own, and nobody seemed to hate that. And they made Damian Priest champion out of nowhere. So I'm just thinking, like Daniel Bryan said a long time ago, and this is word that I just popped into my head: fickle, 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 fickle. A lot of wrestling fans are fickle. They want their guys, and they don't care. Hey, I'm not gonna sit here and admit I'm the biggest Jey Uso fan. I love the Usos when they were a tag team. I thought they were incredible, probably the best tag team I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie, they did shit that people weren't doing. They were put the New Day and the Usos feud that went fuck a year and a half, 2 years. You guys gotta go watch it. Those are probably some of the best wrestling matches you're ever gonna see, tag team at least. Jay is a goddamn superstar. Jimmy's a superstar. Roman, if you guys have ever seen that documentary with Roman Reigns, he did what he planned out to do. At one point, he says, "My whole thing is to not just make me a star, but bring everyone up with me higher. Make them stars. Make people recognize them." He's done that. We got Solo. Love him or hate him, Solo's a star. Jimmy is gonna be a star soon. Jay is the goddamn 2025 Royal Rumble winner. And I know he wasn't talking part of it, but the star is the limits for the werewolf. That psychotic werewolf. Jacob, that's my thoughts on the Royal Rumble. You guys can leave your comments below if you want. And as for Raw today, it had its hit or miss moments. The New Day have a new theme song, which is pretty freaking cool. They beat Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Penta defeated Ludwig Kaiser because he eliminated Ludwig Kaiser in about 4.5 seconds at the Rumble. Take him or leave him. Ludwig Kaiser's really, really fucking good at what he does. Penta's the new Latino star. It took him 25 years to find somebody to replace Rey Mysterio. I think they thought it was going to be Dragon Lee, but Dragon Lee has zero to no charisma. Penta oozes charisma. And I think the language barrier is a little more difficult for Dragon Lee than it is Penta, so that's another problem. But me bringing up Dragon Lee, he's actually randomly just back on Raw this week. And it was him and Rey Mysterio versus the New Day, who have the new brand new theme song. New Day win. And apparently Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio are having an elimination qualifying match. Elimination Chamber qualifying match next week on Raw. Whoa. Sorry, Ray, you're not winning. That's predictable. Very predictable. Sometimes they say WWE is predictable, sometimes they're not. This is predictable. AJ Styles is now on Raw. He was entered into the transfer portal and picked up by Raw. I didn't know he was actually still affiliated with SmackDown. I thought he was gone just because he was injured. No sighting of Alexa Bliss after the Royal Rumble. So I figured she would have been on Raw trying to go after Liv Morgan for eliminating her in the way she did. But we actually had a women's qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber match. And Liv Morgan beat Io Sky due to outside interference from Rhea Ripley. So you could tell they didn't want either one of these people to lose cleanly. Maybe it's going to lead to a program where Io reverts back to heel and goes after that title. And we get Io versus Rhea at Mania. We kind of teased Rhea and Charlotte today on Raw. And then we kind of teased that Charlotte. Well, Charlotte announced she's going to go to NXT and SmackDown and see those champions. A big piece of me thinks she's taking Tiffy's title at Mania, and I don't know how I feel about that. It might do the world of good for Tiffy to lose the belt and then have to go back after it against Charlotte. That's kind of one of the things that made Rhea. That's kind of what made everyone fall in love with Rhea, was going after Charlotte because of how much hate Charlotte has. But you guys have to go check out both these promos by Rhea. I mean, sorry, Charlotte and Jay. You could truly tell winning these rumbles meant a lot to them, and for Charlotte, you could clearly, truly tell being back means everything to her. Silly, since she's also now divorced again. Um, CM Punk beat Zayn in a qualifying match, and Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn after the match was over. So I believe we're going to be getting Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Mania. I'm not mad at that. They'll fight forever, and it'll be absolutely brilliant. But other than that, there wasn't really much to talk about this week on Raw. This might have just been like a put it together Raw to do something after main Rumble, but it was not memorable the least bit. Um, yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about with you guys this week. I'm gonna leave it at that, and we'll talk in a couple of days after the SmackDown on Friday. Sorry guys, I couldn't speak for a second. I hope you enjoyed the Rumble like I did, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out, guys.